Aries, welcome to your reading. Today we are going to be focusing on a little bit of full moon astrology or moon astrology because I'm a witch and I love the moon. And then we're going to be moving on to your tarot cards and spiritual guidance. This works best if you have Aries rising. So if you have Aries sun, you can continue to watch, or if you want to carry on and have a look at another video with your rising sign for this forecast, that's absolutely fine as well. But I always recommend watching your moon, sun and rising sign just in case. I want kind of fares better for you. So if you have Aries rising, welcome. If you have Aries in the first house, welcome as well. So the full moon is going to be in Libra, and this is on the 8th of April. This is going to be in your 7th house. This is all about your spouses, your romance, homes in a foreign country, foreign businesses, trips further afield, public as well, friends, making connections with the public. So that could be something that's focused on in April for you. And I do feel that with it being in Libra, it's going to be, kind of shining a big spotlight on this. Now, is there something you want to achieve here? Is there something you want to achieve with your partner? Have you been considering going abroad? Have you been considering doing something, more focused on getting integrated almost with people, and also feeling like you want to connect with others on a very personal level? Is there something that you want to add a little bit more romance into something? Is there something that you've been focused on that you want more joy, more beauty and more connections in your life? Do you want fans? Do you want to share your art with people? That's the focus of the full moon in the 8th. And it feels like you have the drive to do it, Aries. Coupled with the new moon on the 24th or 23rd of April, you have it in Taurus, which is your house of money. So making connections earlier in the month may actually increase the income that you have later on, especially with your family life. You may be able to treat some family in there as well, because you have two very pleasurable, very almost nurturing houses in effect this month. I was going to say this year. So these are very nurturing, these are very connective signs. So it could be that you're wanting to just give a little to people, give a little love, give a little treat to people. You may be more able to do this later on in the month, so it could be something that you plan early on. You may get the idea around here and then put it into effect later on in April. But there's definitely income stuff, material things. You may want to pledge that you're going to give things away. You may want to pledge things that you're going to be more careful with what you invest in future. It depends on what promise of the new moon you want to make to yourself. So I'm just going to pause this a second and I'll get the cards ready for your reading for every sun, moon and rising. Okay, so we have the Everyday Witch Tarot here. So what does Aries need to know for April 2020? What does Aries need to know for April 2020? They're just saying life goes on. La 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 la, life goes on. Just doing a lot of that. Okay, the Fool. Yep, see, you're just storming forwards. King of Cups, 5 of Cups, Hermit. Okay. So again, there could be some interaction with somebody maybe earlier on in the month where you feel like there's a potential for something new. It could also be that you're feeling more like, what, this has taught me just to embrace things. I'm going to do it as much as I can from the position that I'm in, and I can actually see the beauty in the world, which is what Libra does. I can see everything that's amazing and beautiful and gorgeous. King of Cups comes in, maybe dealing with a water sign person here. I feel like this is a very emotionally grounded person, but also balanced. It feels like they're an authoritarian figure in your life. 5 of Cups, you could get some news from this person that disrupts your emotional flow, or it could be talking to this person that disrupts your emotional flow. So you need to maybe assess whether this person is beneficial for you to talk to, or just to get them out of the way. I do, though, see that the 5 of Cups is you maybe having a little bit of conflict, little bit of regret. And I think also there's a feeling of maybe you're giving in to the worldly weariness that's around you. It takes a little bit of the wind out of your sails mid-month, but this is recovery. This is the waning phase. So, you know, you have the 8th of April is the full moon. We go into the waning phase. And then you kick it off with the new moon again. So you're kind of ebbing down. So you could start on a high going, yes, it's beautiful, I still feel it, and then it just kind of goes, oh, but I'm still feeling everything else, and then it cranks back up again. It's kind of a cycle that's coming in here for you, because again, I feel like you're going inwards a little bit towards the end of April. You may be excuse me, you may be having some more introspection, some guidance, some solitude. Maybe solitude brings you some really strong information as to how you can pursue something that you've always wanted to pursue. You know, that could be a very strong kind of purpose that you feel like, your soul purpose, your soul life, you know, what you're here to do. Maybe you're trying to experience a bit of that, or just recover. You know, I feel like a lot of people are very worried right now. It's very easy to get swept up in the panic and swept up in the, oh my Lord, what's going on? You know, and I think that with you being a very headstrong, steadfast person, it could be that you are more in your own little world than anything else. You know, it could be that you're like, well, yeah, that's fine, but I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and just kind of blocking out the world, which is absolutely fine. But do remember that your 7th house is going to activate at the end of April, and you're going to be, the beginning of April, and you're going to be seeing, you know, foreign, you know, news and stuff like that. That could be, yeah, it could be some, I mean, it's not as much as if it was in your 9th house, but it could be that you're, you know, seeing the relationships that you have with people abroad brought into focus here. So you will not be able to keep in your cocoon for very long, but just know that other people have feelings this time. I'm not saying that you are very, what's the word? Okay, I'm not saying that you disregard people. I couldn't think of the word. I'm not saying that you disregard people and dismiss their feelings, but you're probably going to be made more aware of them because they seem a little bit at odds with how you feel, but you're going to be understanding of their point of view. I hope I'm explaining this correctly. You're going to be more understanding of that. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I see how you could see that. And you're still going to probably make more time to be very empathetic to them, because this wind out of your sails is like, oh, you're grieving with somebody else, or you're feeling the sadness that's going around or the loss that's going around before you pick back up again. Before you're like, okay, I'm just going to take a moment, you know, like a minute's silence, you know, memorials and stuff. You're going to have that moment this month where you go, oh yeah, and acknowledging something, and then get up on the horse again and then carry on. So it's definitely one of recognition, I think, that's coming in for you here. Just going to do one of these cards, the Work Your Light Oracle card, just to see what's coming in for Aries in the month of April. They don't want to pop out for you. Okay, this one maybe. Ooh, Mintacan. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So yeah, it could be that at some point you, again, that minute silence of loss and recognition, and you're longing for kind of a place in the world. Maybe there's a feeling of, you know, you don't know where you are because everyone's up in arms. You know, it could be that feeling, and you're kind of wanting things to be back to normal, or you're wanting things to just be continuing. Why do they have to be so static? I don't feel that Aries sometimes does well with static, and I think because everything's grinding down to a halt, you're gonna maybe feel like, I want to do stuff and be feeling a little bit on edge. That's fine. You know, I absolutely understand that. You want to be productive and you want to be doing things, so you feel restricted. But what this is that you'll start to see that place and how you can bring yourself into this situation this month in order to give to others, in order to understand where you fit in. So I do feel that you are going to bring some much needed energy to people, and you're going to be, you know, giving much needed perspective to others, but as well as first seeing that and how you can do that first. Again, really hope I'm explaining this correctly because of all the information that they're just piling on top of me right now. But let me know in the comments below if this helps you. I'm always here if you have a question. I'll try and always respond to everybody who leaves a message. If you'd like a private or personal reading, all the information is in the description box as to how to get one. But in the meantime, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself and each other. Bye.